calling the meeting to order. I would like to call on nominating committee member Cindy Moore to read the nominating committee report.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a motion to resolve the committee of the the third Congressional District Caucus to a committee of the whole for the purpose so that we can review and analyze the slate, possibly extend it, and Mr. Chairman, for the reasons most plainly to fulfill the governor's wishes, so that the members of this group could review, could determine the eligibility of those candidates on the slate, and to possibly add to that slate if some of them are not eligible. Also to fulfill our duties as delegates set forth by bylaws of the party so that we could participate in this process. I know our chairman and our governor have spoke a lot about us having an open and transparent and participatory process. And I think as delegates duly elected by our peers back home, we would like to be able to participate in that process. But then also, for the sake of the integrity of our party, we heard our speaker talk this morning about how the heavy hand of a centralized authority is suppressing us, and it limits us. And the platforms that we speak about publicly, we need to adhere to inside our party. And so we'd like to resolve the committee of the caucus to a committee of the whole for the sake of reviewing that nominating committee.
Thank you. I appreciate Thank you. I appreciate the motion. The nominating committee has met and brought the nominated slate forward. The rules as set forth, we're merely following them. We are not I am not a rule maker, nor is this a rulemaking body. The nominated slate has been put forward by the committee as set forth under the rules and under the rules of this convention. So I believe I have no choice except to rule that out.
The actual rules of the convention and the bylaws of the party do not address resolving a caucus to a committee of the whole. It is addressed in section 13 of Robert's Rules, the newly edition, and it takes precedent over all other matters.
Okay.
And so it should be addressed before we move forward.
Chair is going to rule that under Rule 27 of the State Convention rules that the order of business for all district caucuses shall be called to order. The nominating committee report shall be read and there will be action on the report. So
Again, Rule 27 of the convention rules does not address resolving a caucus to a committee of the whole. And so that motion does still stand, and we'd like for that motion to be addressed.
Mr. Smith is my parliamentarian with me. Chair is that the motion is out of order under Rule 27. The nominating slate is going to be read. If the nominated slate gets voted down, then we will have every opportunity to.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I challenge the motion of the chairman. Persuade it to Robert's Rules of Orders because it is not addressed in the convention's rules.
Understood. Understood.
There's a motion on the floor.
There is a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I call a question on the motion on the floor to hear from the nominating committee.
Mr. Chairman, I object to consideration of this question. Previous question's been moved.
We have to take a vote on the previous question.
There was a second to the motion,
It was ruled out of order.
and I objected to the chair's ruling.
Out of order. Hold on. We're going to go in order here. There was an objection. There was a motion to call the question. There was a second to the motion to call the question. And so.
There was a second to the original motion.
All right. We will take a vote on the appeal of my ruling on your original.
And my reason, I can state my reason for objection is that I have my original motion is not addressed in the convention rules or the party bylaws.
Okay,
So per convention rules, everything resorts back to Robert's Rules of Order.
okay,
When that was not recognized and I challenged the motion of the chair, and you did not want to recognize it, I challenged your motion and it was seconded. And so we should be voting on the challenge to you saying that we could not file the original motion,
that's right.
to me saying that we would like to.
We are voting on the challenge. And my ruling was that that your original motion to go to the committee as a whole is out of order. And that, so we are going to have an up or down vote on appealing my ruling. So, Pete.
Point of view, Mark. A yes vote means we're voting that your ruling is correct, and no vote is that your ruling is incorrect.
Correct. We are about to have a vote. If you vote yes, you are voting to uphold the ruling of the chair. If you are voting no, you are voting no.
And for a point of information
Yes,
as
ma'am.
well, that no vote is simply to allow us to go back to the original motion that would allow you to participate in nominating to the slate.
Thank you. Okay, there is a vote on the floor.
Wait a minute, Mr. Chairman, please explain once again what a yes vote is and a no vote is. I'm kind of confused here.
There has been a challenge to the chair's ruling. What the chair was about to do was call on Ms. Moore to read the nominating slate, and we will then vote on that. There is a challenge to that to go to a committee as a whole, and I presume start the process over.
And it's not to dissolve the
Right.
slate, it's to simply review, check the eligibility.
And this is not a measurable, yeah, let me just move this along here. So the vote is, if you vote yes, we are going to recognize the nominating chair, and she's going to read the slate, and which we will then vote on. If you vote no, we'll go to a committee as a whole, and we'll start over. All those in favor of the chair's ruling that we move along,
No
vote.
voice.
Oh, and no voices from alternates or guests or convention officers. This is delegates only. All in favor of the of sustaining my ruling and going to the nominated slate, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No! Division,
Division.
Ayes have it.
Division.
Ayes have
The
it.
ayes have it.
division.
We will accept the division. All those in favor that voted aye, please stand.
Majority.
Okay. All those, so you can sit down, please.
Do you have it? Number?
All those who voted no, please stand. The ayes clearly have it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. The chair would like to recognize nominating committee member Cindy Moore to read the nominating committee report.
The report of the nominating committee of the 3rd Congressional District is as follows. When I call your name, if you will please stand. State Executive Committee members Jim Armstrong, Quentin Dickerson, Gary Parkins, Marnita Henderson, Frank Lee, Veronica Naylor, Joe Nassif, Keith Perry, John Roberts, Lucian Smith, Greg Snowden, Dana Stringer, and John Taylor. Next, the nominations for national delegates are Becky Curry, Lynn Fitch, and Delbert Hoseman. For the national alternate delegates are Hunter Foster, Mike Hurst, and Terry Reeves. Mr. Chairman, I now move the report be adopted.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to challenge the nomination pursuant to the bylaws, Article 5, Section 1. The bylaws of the party say that executive committee members shall hold an office for a term of not more than 4 years. And I'd like a ruling on a term of not 4 years, because I know there's multiple people that were on the slate that previously held the office.
The chair rules that this is not a determination of this body, and the motion is overruled.
What?
Sir,
Call the question.
thank you. The question has been called.
Sir, I have a point of information.
Yes?
Isn't it true that if this group votes down the proposed delegates as were just read to us, that then, this group would at that time be able to, nominate or add to the list in order to resolve the problem from the floor?
The nominating committee has set forth the nominated slate, and the order of business for this body is to vote on that. The question has been, and so thank you for your point of information. The question has been moved. We will vote on whether to bring the question forward and vote. All those in favor?
Point of order.
Yes, ma'am.
I would just like clarification as to, since it's not appropriate to clarify the meaning of the bylaws as pursuant to the eligibility of the executive committee members, at what point is it? Because it appears that we are in direct violation of Article 5, Section 1 of the bylaws.
The chair does not believe that we are in direct violation,
The
and
plain language, and so I'd like a definite clarification for what is the meaning, because the plain language, which is what we resort back to in legal terms.
The question's been called, that's not a question.
Yeah, the question has been moved. All those in favor of bringing the
Chairman, I
question
object to
forward,
consider
and,
this.
pardon me.
I object to consideration of this question at this time until we have further discussion. Point of order, that's not.
Point of order. The question has been called, and we are going to move forward. All those in favor of calling the question, please vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
The ayes have it. The nominating slate is before us. I'm going to, we are now going to have a vote on the slate as nominated. All those in favor of the slate that was previously read, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
The ayes have it.
Division.
All those in favor that voted aye, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. All those opposed, please stand. The ayes have it. Thank you. Is Congressman Harper here? He is not. I move we adjourn. There is a motion to adjourn. Adjourn. Thank you very